This is my explorer's project. Christopher Columbus was born in modern-day Italy, and his father's name was Domenico, and his mom was named Susanna, and he was the oldest of all his siblings born to his parents, and he was brought up humbly. He was reduced to poverty, and he grew tired of working at his father's wool weaving company and wished to sail. He began sailing at a very tender young age. His reason for sailing was that he loathed and grew tired of working at his dad's work, and he believed that God wanted him to sail and that it was his mission in life. Christopher Columbus was a Christian and wanted to spread Christian beliefs, and like I said, he believed God wanted him to sail and that it was his mission in life, and that was one of the more important reasons for him wanting to sail, besides hating where he worked. By far the most important voyages were those to the New World, and he made 4 voyages there, and the first voyage was the most important, and that was dated 1492. What he was after with sailing was gold, profit, and converting people to his religion. There are 2 theories on his death and how he died, and one of the theories is that one of his sons, where he says that his father died of gout. Some other people have the theory that he died of a rare disease. And he died on May 20th, 1506 in Valladolid, Spain. I'm not sure if I said that right, but this is Vasco da Gama's upbringing. He was born in Sines, Portugal in 1460. He was born to nobles, and he learned to navigate from the navy. He was the 3rd son of Gustavo da Gama. In 1497, the king asked him to go on a voyage. Said of how he was a captain, people said that he was a strong and very fearless captain. Discoveries and voyages. He discovered trails to India and Africa, and those were significant because he succeeded first to do what Columbus wanted and tried to do years afterwards. After the voyage. He wasn't very famous back then, but he is currently slightly famous, but he is still not as well known as Columbus is, even though he did a lot. Columbus has a day named after him, even though he didn't do what he had wanted to do. He actually got lost, and so, but yes, I will go on now. Zheng He upbringing. He was born to a poor Muslim family in the poor Chinese province of Yunnan, 1372. He was found as a rebel by Ming armies at 10 years old. He was very well educated, which I guess was not very normal back then. His reason to sail was the king chose him to go on the voyage. He was a Muslim, so the king assumed that he was an outcast. Well, he was an outcast actually, but this made it less likely for him to gain power over the king because everyone assumed that because he was Muslim, he wasn't the same as them, so he couldn't really gain power because not as many people would want him to. His major voyages and discoveries are Western Asia, Africa, and Arabia. So he made a lot of voyages, but still not as well known as Columbus. After his voyage, he was never very famous, and he still isn't famous. Not very many people knew that he even went on that voyage. And even in his own culture, he was never well known, and he still isn't very well known in his own culture. He died 1433 during his 7th and final voyage. And these are pictures The odd-looking guy on the left is Christopher Columbus, and the middle one is Zheng He, and Vasco da Gama is the one on the right, which I labeled them, so I guess you can see that. Who do I think is most important? I believe that Zheng He is the most important because he discovered a lot of places and he was very unknown and unrecognized for all his hard work and the things he accomplished. That is a typo. I meant to say the. Christopher Columbus did do a lot, but I don't think he really deserves a day named after him because he got lost. He didn't go to the place he wanted to go. And he tried to claim land that wasn't his. That is, again, a typo. That's supposed to be his, not him. And the other two who are just as qualified for a day named after them, I believe anyways, as him, don't have a day, which I think is pretty weird. I don't understand why Columbus has a day and they don't when they did just as much, even more than he did. And these are my sources. That is History for Kids. Christopher Columbus's 4 Voyages to the New World. Christopher Columbus, The Untold Story. Christopher Columbus's Death. And by Jesse Saleh, Vasco da Gama, Facts and Biography by Live Science. Thank you for watching my video, and that is what I think on the Explorers Project.